Yo, welcome back to the podcast. Let's Talk More Do. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, Monday, February 6th, opening day of the Super Bowl with one of the players from the Arizona Cardinals, former IPP, not hopeful. I guess he was a hopeful, but he successfully made it to the NFL. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What's up, man? Good to be here. You already said almost everything. I'm from Vienna. Maybe that's something missing. I'm from Vienna, Austria. Made it all the way over here to Arizona. Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. I spent 2 years with the Cardinals now, learning a lot. And yeah, excited for the future, man. Yeah.
Tell me some things about your country, about your family. I know they were big help helping you get to the NFL.
Yeah, no, sure. So first of all, some people maybe don't know Europe that much, which is understandable. I didn't know any states over here when I came here. So yeah, Austria, the country where I'm from, is tiny compared to any states over here. We have 8 million people, and Vienna, the city where I'm from, the capital, is a pretty big city. We have like 2 million people. So yeah, I'm a city kid. My grandma lives at the farm. She has a farm. Her son runs it, and so that's where I spent my summers. So I'm not the regular city kid, I would say. But yeah, that's where I'm from. And as you said, my family, especially my mom, she pretty much raised me on her own, and yeah, she always supported me and my sister in doing whatever we love to do. My sister, she learned to play the piano.
Oh, cool.
She did that for a while, and even though we didn't have a lot, she always made sure that she had the funds to help us keep doing that, because back home for football you have to pay. It's not a school sport, so you have to pay. Every year you have to pay for cleats and helmets and stuff like that, so that wasn't easy. And the first time I went there, and she was like, all right, Bernhard, if you're really gonna do this,
you better do it.
Yeah, you're not quitting, because I'm paying 1,000 euros just to buy you the uniform and the helmet and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I'm really thankful to have her, and I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, man. Moms are the best. I was raised by a single mother as well. My dad wasn't really in the picture. My daughter Malia, she's 3. She's done 3 sports: soccer, swimming, and basketball. I was looking into your background. You did a little swimming. You did a little soccer.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Did you do any other sports? Talk to me about swimming, soccer, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and anything else you did as a kid growing up.
Yeah. So my dad, he was a not professional, but pretty good amateur swimmer for Austria at least. He never made it to the professional level, but he really enjoyed it, and he tried to get me into swimming. So that's how I tried out for swimming. I still like swimming. I just never liked it enough to train for it and stuff like that, because I don't know, it just was a little boring for me, swinging down the lanes, and I don't know. And soccer obviously is like the sport every kid plays in every park, in every school. So that's why I played soccer, and I enjoyed it. Like, as a kid, I think you enjoy every sport as long as you do it with your friends, and so yeah, that's my sport. But really, the only sport I took serious was football. So yeah,
let's go into how you found out about American football. I remember interviewing you in Florida at the IPP program, and you told me about your best friend's dad, or your best friend introduced you to the sport. But the thing that got me, and you guys are gonna love this, especially my guys from Florida, B was like, you loved Oklahoma drills. So if you're watching this podcast and you're not into football, if you're an entrepreneur, photographer, or whatever, an Oklahoma drill is when an offensive player and a defensive player basically lay down, and then they get up and they hit each other, or it can be them standing up. Basically, offense versus defense. I think they banned that now in high school. I don't even think you can do it anymore. But me being from Florida, I didn't want no part of that drill. So I remember when B told me, that's when he kind of found his love for football. I was a speed guy, so I didn't want no fucking contact at all. I was trying to juke dudes. Yeah. You weren't that big. You're bigger than you were. You're way bigger now than you were when you first started. Talk to me about that. What about football, the physicality of the sport? I just remember you saying, like, I like the Oklahoma drills, and I'm like, you're meant to play the game when you say something like that.
No. I don't know, man. Maybe because I always grew up playing sports where it's not about physicality, where it's about, in soccer it's about how good are you with your feet and the ball, and I don't know, maybe it was the changeup and you just go there and try to tackle or block or whatever, just be physical with someone. Maybe it was that, but I don't actually know.
When I first started playing football, I was an offensive lineman, bro. Like first in Florida growing up, my first position. I became to be a speed guy, but like you, I've been reading, I did a lot of research for the podcast. You never got to pick your position. Mm-hmm. In Florida, when I first started, there was so much talent that I had to play offensive lineman because I couldn't play running back or receiver. I just wasn't fast.
That's crazy.
But then, for me, being American, I got fast, and then I was like, I want to play running back. And then when I got to college, they moved me to receiver. That's a whole nother story. But for you, talk to me about never getting to actually pick your position. I know you played quarterback, then you played wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Now you're in the NFL, you play tight end. Mm-hmm. That's a lot for anyone to take in, but especially for you not getting to actually pick where you want to play. Just talk to the people on the podcast about that and what's that been like for you.
So at first when I started playing football, I didn't really care where they put me. I didn't understand the game at all. They put me at tight end actually, or / receiver, because I was 12 years old. I don't think we actually played with a tight end like you should. And linebacker, and those were my two positions. And then the year after that, they put me into quarterback training, and just to see how I can throw, I guess. And maybe I did a good enough job. Yeah. And they put me in there, and ever since I stuck with that position somehow. At first I told him, like, I don't really want to play quarterback. It's like it's so much in the head, and you really don't play a lot. You just go through your reads, and but on the other side, it's pretty exciting because if you do a good job, your team probably does a good job as well. So I enjoyed that part, being the leader, and being the guy everybody looks up to, and trying to win the game as a quarterback for the team. So that was exciting. But then how it works back home, you usually bring in Americans for the adult team, and you can only choose two for the whole team. So most of the teams choose a quarterback, and then whatever other guy, any skill player most of the time. So and that was the year I went to military and did my military / sports type of deal, and I really only focused on training because that's what they pay you for. Okay. So I was like, I don't want to be behind an American guy, because I know I'm not gonna play if he doesn't get injured or anything crazy happens. So might as well try me out at anything different. Like, I have a year where I only train, so I'm guessing I'm picking up faster if anybody else would be in that position, because I have more time to learn it and stuff like that, do some extra work. And they were like, okay, like, try receiver. I'm like, okay.
Like, why not?
Yeah, why not? It worked out. And I ended up starting the first year, and ever since. Damn. And then I got the call from the NFL IPP, and they were like, after the coma, and they were like Will called me, and he was like,
shout out Will.
Yeah, and he called me, and he's like, well, we want to take you to Florida, but you're not gonna be a receiver. I'm like, okay, what else? He's like, you will have to be a tight end in the NFL.
What was going through your head when Will called you and he said, when you come back to the program, because you'd already went through the program once as a wide receiver, when he calls you and says you're going to come back and be a tight end, what's going through your brain?
Yeah, no, so actually it was the first year already where he told me.
Okay.
And then maybe they were thinking about having me 2 years from the beginning. I don't know, because they knew I had to gain weight and stuff like that. But to be honest, I was just happy that he told me I'm going to be there. Yeah. So it wasn't too much of, like, fuck, I have to change the position again, or I have to gain weight or whatever. So it's just happy, and it didn't seem like a undoable task.
Yeah.
Because I was playing some Y because I've been a big receiver, so they used me as a Y sometimes in Vienna, even when I was a receiver. So it's like that wasn't too hard. Like those 2 plays I had a game.
You adjusted to it. Talk to me about the Vienna Vikings. You guys won the championship. Funny side note, a guy I played college football with, his name's Danny Mitchell. He was just he was just over there. So, like, the world's such a small place that, like, one of my teammates, us at IPP, talk to me about the team over there. Anyone listening to the podcast who don't know, like, the organization and even guys in your country that might listen to this about, like, why they should go out. Just talk to me about your experience with them because, I mean, that's where you came from. So,
why you should go to Vienna play? I mean, first of all, it's a pretty successful and professional football club. Yeah. Like, you would imagine somewhere out of the States, it's like, I don't know, just a yard in the backyard or something, and people play there. They don't know the rules or anything, but, like, we have a youth program, and people actually know football. And as you said, we bring coaches over to help us educate more and raise the level more. But yeah, for a guy that comes from college, didn't quite get a shot in the NFL or whatever, I feel like it's the perfect timing to explore Europe and the world while playing hopefully their most favorite sport, you know. So I think it's a win-win if you still want to keep playing football and just see the world.
Go down there.
Yeah.
All right, the IPP program. So for anyone listening to the podcast that doesn't know, that's the International Player Pathway Program. Talk to me about your time there, what that meant to you, and some of your favorite moments. Just being down there in Florida. I'm from Florida, so that's where we met. You've only been in Florida and Arizona, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
So talk to me about the IPP program.
I don't know. It's a great experience. Like, as a kid coming from Europe, never really having this, okay, I'm like, this is my work now, this is my job. Like, I'm here just to be a football player. Like, so that was really exciting for me, just going over there and just really working on my craft. Obviously meeting those people, like, whenever you're stuck with the same people for 2 months and you all have the same goal, basically, that's always a great atmosphere to be around. Because like, you push yourself and I don't know, you become really good friends, and just makes the whole experience better. And
we also were going through a global pandemic. I want to make sure the podcast listeners know that B and the rest of the guys, shout out to the whole IPP program, all of you guys were trying to make it to the NFL in Florida during if you're watching this and you don't know what COVID is, just go look it up. A global, like, we're taking COVID tests, like, we can't leave out that it was during COVID that you were trying to make it to a place that, like, only 1% of the people in the world ever make it to, the NFL.
Yeah. No, for sure. That was a weird kind of setting, like running around with the mask every time, waiting for people to get out of the gym and so we can go in there. And but as I said, like, when people have the same goal, it, like, that kind of didn't matter at all. We just focused on the goal and tried to make the best out of it, I guess.
I love that, man. So I was looking at an interview with you, and you just said that focus on the goal. Talk to me about being in a position to give yourself a chance to make it to the league. So pretty much opportunities. Like, what was it like for you? What was your mindset when you were down in Florida, you know, knowing that if this does work, I go to the NFL, and if it doesn't work, I don't know what your backup plan was, but it doesn't matter because you made it. So your mindset must have been so strong. What was that like, getting that opportunity, and what were you thinking while you were down there? Because for me, getting to see you and the rest of the guys, and I was doing photography, videography, me and James, you guys were like in it. Like, you guys were locked in. It was cool to see it up close, but it was like, it's your life. Like, if you don't make it, I don't know what you go back and do. So to get to see you do that, kind of, what were you thinking?
Just you put it perfectly. I didn't have anything else. Like, I didn't have a college to go back to or something. I didn't have a degree or anything. I didn't learn any specific skills. So it was really just this, or I will have to figure it out, whatever I do. So I really, and since it was my second year, I really said, now or never. I give it all I have, and if it's not gonna work out well, at least I tried and put everything I had into it. So yeah, it was make or break, but I still enjoyed it. It was still fun, doing it.
Talk to me about Coach Steve, man. You had shout out Steve Hagaan. You had Coach. What did you? When I was there, it was you, Samus, Coach Steve Hagaan. What were some of the things you learned from him? What was he like? He's a character. Both of you guys are funny dudes, but what did you learn from him? What were some takeaways you got from Coach?
Yeah, no, he was a character for sure. But then, I think he did a really good job. Because we were two different players. Like Sam is coming off his basketball career and never really playing football, and me never really playing any other sport but football. So I think he did a really good job of kind of combining this. And he was my first ever tight end coach, so I basically was a newbie too. I didn't know how to do tight end. So that was really exciting coming from such an experienced coach. And he mixed it up. It never got boring, which is kind of hard if you practice 6 times a week with the same coach and you don't really go against someone else. He did a phenomenal job.
That's funny. So now you're with the Arizona Cardinals. You spoke about your first reception, which took you 2 years. Talk to me about what that felt like when you got that first catch in the game, and just everything that led up to that. Because again, anyone listening to the podcast, for people that aren't into football, it's extremely hard to 1, make a team, 2, get in the game and do everything right, but then to catch the ball, it's a big deal. So talk to me about how that felt for you.
Relief. I mean, in the game you don't really think about it that much, but after, I was like, hey, I did something here. So no, as you said, it's hard to get minutes or plays in the game, and my first year obviously was kind of tough because if you never play college football, there is going to be a transition. That's nothing you have to hide from. But after that year, I felt really comfortable going into my second training camp. And so first of all, I was happy, and I feel like the catch just symbolizes this in a way. Just getting a lot of playing time and being there and having the coach's trust in you. I was just the play was funny actually. I was supposed to block someone. If someone blitzes, no one came, and I went to the flat. And I feel like I'm wide open.
You're like, hey, throw it.
When you're wide open and you be like, come on, man, look.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and then he threw it, so I was just happy. Yep.
You deserved it, man. All right, so for any of the guys back home in your country, talk to me about kind of where the game's going back home, what's being done. Do you have any plans to help push the game forward? I know your focus, we'll get to you going into your third training camp. But what would you say for the guys that's watching this back home that want to be like you? I mean, you are the first NFL tight end from your country. I feel honored just sitting here talking to you because that's a big deal. We're both here right now in the present, but when you're gone, that's forever. You're the first guy from your entire country to do what you did, and I think a lot of other guys are going to come after you. And I don't know if I know it's not pressure. It's more so does it feel like responsibility? Do you feel like how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel blessed in a way. But because you mentioned pressure, I feel like more propelled forward. I need to push this to get more people coming. And also the league back home, I think, is going into the right direction. They started their professional league back there, or semi-professional. It's not a lot of money, but at least everybody gets money. So I think that's a good way of bringing more people into the sport, because when you're back home and you have soccer where you earn money in the 5th league or something, really down low, what are you gonna choose as a kid? And what your parents are going to say, because in football you're probably never going to earn money. So they say, okay, go play soccer, at least you get some money for it. So I think that's a really good way to get people play the sport, and then hopefully more people, it's like a snowball, more people playing, more competition, because that's one of the things I experienced over here. People just are used to competing way more. and against good people.
Yeah.
You know, like I competed back home too. Like
Right.
you do wherever you are playing sports, but over here you have to in college, and you probably can tell more about this, but you have to prove yourself over and over and over again just to get the scholarship, and then you have to start the same process again. So once you're in the NFL, if you make it that far, it's second nature to you. You know the process, you know how it goes, you know how to talk to coaches and stuff like that. You know the in and outs. So once we can get a lot of talent back home, like I think that's just gonna hopefully it's gonna be like the NBA, you know, where they draft people from Europe, straight out of Europe.
I feel like you're the first of you. I mean, you really, again, you're in the situation, so it's hard to see it, but like you set the tone for the next 10 guys to come for your country, because now you set the blueprint. So now it's like, now they can even know it's possible, whether they play linebacker or because I mean, there is someone else from your country, right? Was it a kicker or who? Sandro. Running back. Yep. So have you and him connected?
Yeah. Okay. So we same age. Actually, the first year I was in IPP, he was there too.
Cool.
And he went to the Giants. He just finished his third year there. But yeah, we always played against each other because he's not from the same city and he's the same age. So he always made it hard on us. But no, I'm happy for him. And he just finished the third year, so we're gonna see where he's gonna be. But
that's cool.
Yeah,
man. For me, it's so cool to get to talk to you and just hear about that, because like I'm from Florida, like football and Florida kind of just go together. Like even that we were just talking about competition, like I live in Denver now. My wife has family in Iowa. If you compare like Florida football to Colorado to Iowa, like it's different levels of football. So when I was in high school playing with guys in the NFL, now I get to talk to guys like you. I get to see it up close. It's physical. It's fast. It's really just a speed. Talk to me about the difference of the speed from when you were playing back home to the speed of what you're seeing now. Or is it similar? I'm saying I don't know how it feels.
No. We don't have that many that fast people back home. As I said, most of the premium athletes, they do sports where they soccer, athletics, skiing, whatever.
Skiing.
But something where they have a better chance of making a living off of it, which I understand.
Definitely.
But like I think it was the mixture of learning the playbook, trying to show coaches that you know the playbook and doing everything right. But then at the same time, there's people that are as big as you, and they still run fast, and you have to make your adjustments or whatever at that speed. I think that was the hardest. Not running fast or being strong, but thinking that fast and then making your body move fast.
All right. So talk to me about where you're at right now. You're going into your third NFL training camp. I know you're fighting for a roster spot. I don't even got to ask you that. I hate when people ask players dumbass questions like when I was doing research for you, they kept saying do you want to make do you want to not, and it's just it's such a, I don't know. Again, I'm not the media. If you guys are watching this podcast, I'm not media. I'm just a dude that used to play football who likes cameras, who gets to talk to cool people, but I know you're trying to get a roster spot. I know you want to go make a statement. How do you feel going into your third training camp? How's the coaching staff? How's your teammate? We're in Arizona right now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, we're going to see who the coaches are. We're in kind of a transition right now. But no, I'm excited. As I said, after year one, I felt really comfortable going into year two in the training camp. And now that I've played even more football over here, I feel confident, even more confident. So I don't know. I just feel eager to go. We could start all right. It's always
boy ready to roll. Y'all see he ready to roll right now.
Yeah. No, I mean it's good. The off season, take some time off, but after a month at least, the latest, you start itching and you want to go again. But no, I feel ready. I'm excited who the coach is gonna be, and I'm excited to just go in there and show what I've learned the last 2 years, and hopefully make the most of it.
I love it. All right, let's get off football, man. Talk to me about I know you're dating someone. Where have you been in like America, or where do you want to go? America, USA. I know. So you've been in Florida. You live in Arizona now. Do you and your significant other, do you want to travel anywhere? What's some things you want to do?
I mean, we want to travel. Most of the time, it's sometimes it's hard to work out because she's trying to be a cheerleader, or she is a cheerleader coach here at ASU. So she has her schedule. Now I'm off my schedule, kind of. So yeah, but when I'm in season, I have a schedule too. So it's always hard. But we managed to get to San Diego, which is not too far. So that was a cool drive through the desert and then over the mountains. That was cool. No, but really, if I could choose, I would just drive around for
just
a month,
see everything.
See everything, yeah. But yeah, I gotta go to New York. I should have when Sandra was still up there, but he's home now. But eventually, I'm gonna go to New York and see that. I feel like that's a must see.
It's definitely cool in New York. Yeah. My wife has never been in New York, so I need to take her. We got to figure it out. All right, talk to me about any plans you have for just what do you like other than football? Like, do you, I know that's especially when athletes get that question, and you're a little younger than me, but like, is there anything else you like doing right now? You're committed to the game, but like, are you into like any other things? Like, what are the people? Tell the people about you.
Yeah. No, we talked before this podcast, and I told him, I just told him that it's impressive that he actually has something else than a football player or whatever, and like. I don't have it. I mean, I do like in sports. My cousin was here 3 weeks ago or something, like right after the season. I ran the marathon with her. So I guess, but that's not going to be a new hobby for me.
Weird once you get done with your NFL career.
I was struggling. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty cliche. I just like hanging out with friends. And so that's why I'm so excited to go back home, see my family, see everybody hang out with people. And yeah, but other than that, like, I'm not a big reader. So.
You're like, I just chill. How do you feel about creativity? So on this podcast, it's photographers, videographers, athletes. When we worked at IPP, I got to do some stuff with you. You sent me some photos and stuff. Like, what do you like? Do you like photos more? Do you like videos? I'm saying this on the podcast. I'm going to get this man a drone, and then I'm going to show you how to fly it. We're going to get you a little one, but I'm going to get you a drone so that if you travel, you can fly with your drone.
Yeah. No, like, I love watching videos. So for the but photos are dope too. Like, I don't know. I like both. Cool. I like photography. I wasn't talking to you, but I'm not sure. But I was about to buy a camera.
Okay.
But then I was like, nah, maybe I'm just gonna waste the money because I'm.
They're expensive now.
Yeah. So no, but that's cool. I like it. If I could do it, I would.
I love it, man. I think you should get one. All right, talk to me about your plans for me and you were talking. Do you got any plans like to do anything back home for the kids, for the youth? Like, are you? I know you probably got a team, or I don't. It's just so much stuff when you're in the position that you're in as an NFL player and everything that comes with that. But most players like go back and do a camp. You being from another country, I think it'd be super cool if you went back home and did a camp. You and your boy, do you got any plans to do anything like that?
Yeah, we do. We want to do one before training camp. Last year we didn't quite get to it, but this year we really want to do one. We haven't no details yet, so no, but for sure, like, you wanna give back. I was coaching for 4 years because it's at the same place. So after school I went there, coached, and then I practiced on my own.
So that could be it. Would you, when you get done in the NFL, and I hope you have a long ass career, would you maybe could coaching be something that you do?
Yeah, I joined it. I enjoyed it. I never coached adults, right? But I mean, there's high schools over here, college. Yeah, no, that's definitely something I enjoyed. And I don't know, I just like the sport. So I feel like if I can stick around the sport even after my career, I feel like that would make me happy and would be a good thing for me to do and be happy doing it.
I love it. All right, well, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Give me, for the people that's listening to the podcast, give them 3 things that you try to focus on for yourself, that keeps you in the zone. And you're an NFL player, you know, you got your girl. There's just so many different things that you have to balance. You're in a new country. Like, talk to me about, give the people on the podcast 3 things that you try to do to keep yourself, like, the podcast is less talk, more do.
Yep.
A lot of people talk about shit and then they don't do it. So, like, you're the opposite of that. So talk to me.
What really helps me is having a schedule. And with having a schedule is having a goal. So if you have a goal and a schedule, I feel like that's a really good start. And then you just have to be disciplined to actually do what you said you're gonna do. And then also what I discovered or learned while I was over here, and I try to be better at it, is just being mentally here and being mentally ready to be the best you can be, whatever that means for you. If you have to meditate, or if you just have to talk to someone that you really trust for 20 minutes a day or whatever it is. But I feel like that's really important. I feel like those points really help me just sticking to a routine, sticking to a schedule, being disciplined, because everybody has those days like where you just don't want to do anything.
Don't want to do shit. Everybody has those.
But those are the days where it feels the best if you actually do it. So
I like that, man. I like that. I got to give you a book called The Mindful Athlete. It's from George Mumfield. He worked with like Kobe. He worked with a ton of dudes, but yeah, it's just like you said, I just started meditating, and that's cool that we're talking about this, because sometimes guys, especially you're a big ass guy. I'm like 5'10" with shoes on. Like, especially bigger dudes, we both play football. Like, it's like you don't talk about that, but like meditating, like the mental part of the sports and just your life, like it's a lot. So I think meditation is something, and it's hard, like to sit in one place and make your mind stop thinking about everything. Like, I still haven't figured it out. I'm still trying to get to that spot.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Because in everyday life, you go. Like you came here this morning, took a flight. You're gonna be on your way back home today again, and it's just I gotta be there. There. But once you sit down, like your mind doesn't know how to stop. So yeah, I'm still no like yogi or whatever. So I have the same thing. Like my mind is going, and sometimes you wander off, and maybe that's the time your brain needs, I guess. But yeah, man, like funny, cause back in the day, 2 years ago, when I did my first year at the IPP, Jakob Johnson, I don't know if he went there for a week, and we talked to him a bunch, and he was like one of the first things he said, he was like, all right, here's this app, you download it and you do it every day. And it was like a meditating thing. And at first we were like, no, what?
Right, yeah. I feel like that's what everyone, like when you hear meditation, you kind of just you just imagine someone just like.
Yeah. No, but really it's just taking time for yourself. Because like I feel like a lot of people, they don't never make time for themselves, and then once it gets really stressful, I don't know, it's just too much. So for me coming over here, there was so much going into me, like meeting new people, being in a new environment. Like I didn't even have a bank account. I didn't have a social security. Like I had to, like, I don't know, start over kinda.
You fully had to start over. I know that was a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like that helped me. Even like I don't do it every day. Like you forget about it, but sometimes, I don't know, taking a minute. Helps for sure.
No, even this, man. That's why I appreciate your time. I've been wanting to do this with you, and just I don't know. Like I said, we went through so much. I mean, I don't think anyone would ever be in your position again, trying to make it to the NFL during a global pandemic where the world's pretty much closed down, and you come out on top. So I just want to salute you for that. Let the people on the podcast know where they can find you, man. This dude don't check his emails. I hope if your coaches are watching, my bad. He don't check no emails, so y'all got to get him on Instagram.
Yeah, man. My Instagram is Bernhard.Seiko. I guess that's best. I don't have Twitter. Or
We got to get this man to Twitter. And then as soon as he gets the information about his football camp, I am going to blast it on my social media. I'm going to try to come out there. If you got some spots, I'll bring the camera. I need to get out there. So y'all stay tuned whenever you have your football camp. Again, I want to say on behalf of everybody, you being the first player from your country to do something, I think that's special. I want to congratulate you. I got to see you do it. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
Man, I appreciate you for flying over here. I really enjoyed it. And, yeah, man, you keep going too.
Appreciate you guys watching this episode. I'm going to give you guys a link to all my guys' socials and then the camp. So y'all make sure you stay tuned for the next one. Peace.